McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with it.
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nation, welcome back to another episode. Today, my special guest is former wide receiver drafted in the 4th round of the 2008 NFL Draft, Titans' very own Lavelle Hawkins. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, baby. I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. The Hawk has landed in the show. Let's get it going, bro. Let's talk a little bit about your background. You're a Cali guy, right?
Cali guy. I'm from California, born and raised, baby.
Okay.
All the way.
What part?
I'm from Stockton, California, so I'm in Northern California. So I mean, a lot of people think about California and they think we LA. No, man, we Northern California. We Stockton, Sacramento, the Bay Area.
Okay.
You know, we just different than them Southern California boys.
Now, what's the complete difference between people from LA and then like people where you're from? What's the difference?
I think it's I guess I'm gonna use the Hollywood stuff, right? You know, the Hollywood stuff, they dressing and doing what they're doing. I think we more, and I've always said this to a lot of people, we more closer to the city where I'm from. I'm from Stockton, and so we more like family oriented, all that stuff. So we don't have all the cameras and all that good stuff. So yeah, Northern California just a little bit different than Southern Cal for sure.
Definitely. Now, growing up, how was that like in California?
How was it growing up? I had a good time. It was a blast. You know, beautiful summers, beautiful springs. Like even right now, the sun is shining right now in the wintertime. You know, we getting close to spring, of course, but you know, it's beautiful weather, man. I'm in shorts right now.
Nice.
Got my little long sleeve on right now, but I'm in shorts though.
There you go.
And California weather, man, it's a real thing.
Now, growing up, what sports other than football did you guys do? Did you play to do everything?
Yeah. So I did everything, right? Except baseball. That's crazy. I didn't do baseball. I was scared, right? That ball hit me in my mouth and knocked my teeth out my mouth. And that's crazy. But people are like, man, you play football.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that baseball coming at you 90 miles an hour, that's just a little bit different. So the closest I got to baseball was T-ball. You know, I got close to that's the closest I got was playing T-ball. But I played every sport: basketball, football, ran track. What else? I did some crazy. I did some ping pong and stuff. You know, I did a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Okay. And what was it that kind of attracted you for the love of football? Was football kind of always your first love, or was there another sport?
No, it was. I mean, you know, you grow up playing everything,
Yeah.
but I was kind of smart when I was younger.
Okay.
I knew I was going to be short. You know, I was going to be short. I knew I was like, I stopped playing football, basketball in the 8th grade.
Okay.
I was like, man, I'm not that tall. You know, this football thing is working. I need to lock in on this. And so I just stuck with football and track. That was my main 2 sports that I played because they go hand in hand. You got to be able to run. You know, you got to stay in shape. So, you know, so I just stuck with football and track, and that was it. I figured I wasn't going to be 6'5", so let's go play some ball.
Yeah, I get that on my end. I mean, I'm Hispanic, so we Hispanics seem to stay closer to the ground, bro. So I played basketball. Everyone else started getting taller. High school, they started passing me. I kind of just stayed the same, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is not going to be for me. Unfortunately, it is what it is, bro.
We got to be realistic with ourselves, man. I like the sooner the better.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You know, get it done, get it out of the way, man, and then continue. College, you went to LSU first and then transferred, right? You did a couple of transfers, right?
So I went to LSU high school. Yeah. Yep. With Nick.
Exactly. So explain that transition. Why did you? And you going to another school?
So, um, long story, but I'm gonna give it to you. So, when I was at LSU, when I was being recruited by LSU with Nick and him, Nick came to me, and the first time he came to me, he said, "Hawk, I want you to play DB for me. You come play DB for me. You go first round.
Hmm.
This, and that. I'm a young guy, 17 years old. And I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna go to the league anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna play receiver. So at that time, I was like the number 3 athlete in the country. And so, Nick came through. He said, "I want you to play DB. I want you to play DB." I said, "No, I ain't messing with you." And so then he came back. It's like, I was gonna let you play receiver. So, long story short, I was actually supposed to go to Miami. I was going to Miami. I wasn't going to LSU. So I got to take you to the whole. So Earl said, Cameron Coven, we was at a camp in Miami together. We balling and we doing what we doing. And so we already made the pact. Like, man, we all going to Miami. We're gonna get it back going. We're gonna do this. And I was serious about it. I'm willing to go wherever. It don't matter to me because I'm gonna compete, right?
Yeah.
And so come signing day, I see these dudes. Cameron goes to Oregon. Early goes to LSU. I'm like, man, fake on me, man, right? I was dead serious about it. So I seen that happen. Then the day of my signing,
Hmm.
the news was in my house, and we all in there with the family and everything. And Coach Coker called and was like, "Hawk, something happened at admissions, and we gotta wait a day." And so I'm young,
Yep.
mature, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, all right, well, I'm gonna talk to you later." So I ended up saying, "Man, I'm going to LSU, man." There was a number 1 school in the country. I'm like, whatever. This is where I'm going. I just want to compete anyway. So I'm going to LSU. This is what's going to happen, and I did it all because of Coach Coker didn't get me in because I was going to Miami. I was sold. I was a Miami guy. All the old school stuff. That's all my personality right there. So I was sold with Miami, and I was going there. And let me take you back though. I was really a Tennessee ball. No, so
Really?
it was Miami and Tennessee.
Okay.
So another crazy story. Coach Farmer. I was at a camp, and I guess he called me. He had Kevin Simons because he was from California. He went to De La Salle. He got on the phone with me and was like, "Hawk, Kevin Simon told me, Hawk, Coach Coker wants you bad, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go to Tennessee too." I liked the checker field. I
Yep.
liked the Darcy Brothers with with the cut jerseys. I was sold. So I'm like, I like Tennessee. Like, it was Tennessee first, it was Miami second. Like, Tennessee and Miami was like 1A, 1B at that time. It can switch easy. Every other week it was switching. And so I really wanted to be involved until Coach Farmer tried to make me commit. Right? And I'm like, "Oh man, I ain't dealing with him. He crazy. And so that was the end of that story. Because he tried to make me commit early, whatever. I'm like, "All right,
Threw
whatever.
you off,
I'm
right?
not doing it." So that's when it's like, okay, Miami it is. Especially when the other guys came together and we got together. It was like, we going here,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't happen. And then these dudes switch up on me, and then
Why did they switch up? Did they ever tell you why they switched up?
I probably asked him about it. I probably didn't, I think I talked to earlier about it. I didn't forgot it, but yeah, I got on them boys' butt. Man, y'all fake. But yeah, so I went to LSU. Was there, was doing a good job, man. And I think another crazy story, ego. So the first game come, we're warming up. We playing against Oregon State, and and the game is tight. It's packed out, 100,000 people in there. It's going crazy. I'm next to my receiver coach. I'm following him. He like, "Hawk, get ready, warm up. You about to go in." So I'm following the whole game. I'm on his hip.
Uh-huh.
Second quarter go by, third quarter go by. It's a tight game. They probably expecting to blow Oregon State out, but they didn't. And so I'm pasting. He didn't get me in the third quarter. Fourth quarter come around, I'm getting more mad. I'm getting mad and mad and mad. So I didn't end up getting in that game. My freshman year, I didn't end up getting in the game.
Oh, wow.
And so the coach Oregon State came over to me and was like, see, Hawk, you should have stayed your butt at home. You'd have been in this game tonight. Oh, that infuriated me. It infuriated me. And boy, that next day I started packing my stuff. And, I'm not proud to say this, but I ended up leaving, man, just because of that one incident. I mean, I loved LSU. It was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful spot. I love the people. Love all my guys. I'm still in communication with all my guys, man. It was all ego, man.
Yeah.
Immature and having a big ego.
Well, you know what? Some people can't. I respect you for acknowledging that. Some people don't still have an ego trip and they still probably won't accept it. But
No,
that's it's crazy how that went by and how that went down. And you think, knowing how things turned out, you think that it was the right choice, regardless of, yeah, maybe you said it was an ego trip and stuff like that, but look
yeah,
where it led you still. Like you still
right,
got in the league and stuff and still
right.
did your thing, man. So
No, it was like I always tell people this, right? Yes, we can go back and forth about had you stayed at LSU, you go this, you do that, but at the end of the day, the goal was still to get to the league, and we got to the league, and we was able to take care of the family and do the things that we all set out to do. Um, But what I don't, I mean, if I can be myself now, I would never leave, because even now with all the transfer portal stuff and all that stuff, I'm just like, why are these cats leaving like that? But I can't say too much. I did the same thing at 17 because of your ego, and competition was never an issue for me, never. I'm with it, but it's just ego, it was just your ego. Like, you didn't play in the first game, you at the number one school in the country. What are you talking about? Sit down, so I'm able to, give some of the young guys advice about things, because some of our guys go up to college and they want to come home after a year. And I say, God, you gotta give, like, when you go to college, you gotta give it a year. You have to give it a year because it's a change from high school to college, from college to the league. So you got to get used to the daily grind of things. That's it. And so we got a couple kids want to leave, and we got to talk to them and say, man, sit still
just relax.
and just and do your job and you'll be okay. And those situations worked out, to where now they love it, so.
And is that one of the things you kind of harp on? I know you're a coach now. Is that kind of one of the things you kind of give someone as advice, as someone might have not told you that now you can actually give back?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm more aggressive with it, right? I'm gonna tell you what to do. Because I had coaches like, man, Hawk, you should probably stay there. You know what I'm saying, man? Sit down and shut up. You know what I'm saying? And just go through the grind of this thing. So yeah, like, and I tell my young dudes all the time, like, I felt every emotion in the sports world. I've been playing football since I was 10. And so I've been high, I've been in the middle, and I've been at the bottom, which the bottom is being released, being cut, and that's going to happen to a lot of us. Some guys get to retire, but a lot of us going to get released and cut and let go. And so I felt every emotion. And so coaching high school football now, it's like, it's easy for me because I can tell you what you're thinking. I can tell you what you're feeling right in that moment. And if you tell me the truth, you'll be like, damn, you're like a psychic. Yeah, I know. I've been in your shoes already. Like, I know exactly what you're thinking. When things don't go your way, I know exactly how you feel. I know when you're pouting, all that stuff. So, I think I've been around it for a long time, man. So I kind of know some stuff.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's kind of like the nice kind of like it's like a circle of life of how
Yeah.
as a player and growing up and as a human being and as a man to
Yeah.
finally get that. But that's
Yeah.
cool. And let's talk a little bit about the Tennessee Titans, because that's what we're here about, man. The Tennessee Titans, we drafted you in the 4th round. I think it had something to do with the Pac-Man Jones, right? I think it had to do with the trade right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me about draft day and leading up and who was all involved and who did you talk to and your feeling on draft day getting drafted by the Tennessee Titans, man.
Man, I can't remember all. I talked to a lot of people, man. But going in the draft day, I think when I got drafted, I think it was like a 2 or 3 day draft or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so My draft experience was I didn't want nothing a big old party or anything because I don't know where I was going. I didn't understand everything, but I think I just had my family at the house and we was hanging out. The first day went by. The second day, I started to get a little bit frustrated, a little bit, right? Fourth round coming around, I started to get a little frustrated. And I was actually headed to church after, because I was sitting around watching the draft, and I'm like, I'm thinking we're going to church, man. Like, church started about 11 to 12, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to head to church. And so when I was leaving, my cousin runs down, and because I was going to my mother's house, and my grandma stayed in one spot, and my mom stayed like three houses down.
Mm-hmm.
And so going down to my mother's, and my cousin ran down with the phone, like, somebody's on the phone, somebody's on the phone. The Titans on the phone or whatever. And so I got on the phone, and it went from being frustrated, angry, whatever, because I'm seeing some names that I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
Go before me. I'm like, it's crazy. So when I got on that phone, all that adrenaline hits you, so you kind of emotional a little bit. You kind of hold it, you trying to hold it together. But you on the phone, yes, sir, all that stuff. I'm like, I don't even talk like that. But yes, sir, because I think Alicia got on the phone. Alicia, she was like the secretary upstairs. And so I got on the phone with Fisher, and he's like, are you ready to be a Titan, this, and that? I'm like, absolutely, can't wait to get there, can't wait to work. The same old speech, but it was a good day after that. After I got that call, it was a good day. But beforehand, I was a little upset too.
I had the chip on your shoulder, which is good. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Let's talk a little bit about that process, right? After you get drafted by the Titans,
Mhm.
go into the facility. You have any recollection of anything of who maybe you talked to and your first interaction with maybe like a Jeff Fisher or anyone like that or player wise?
Man, I don't remember, man. I just remember rookie camp, having rookie camp. Rookie camp was a little tough, I think. Yeah, it was a little tough because, it's just a few of y'all. So you running, you active, you going. I remember rookie camp a little bit and going there and competing. And, I'm one of those, you know, I'm flamboyant. I talk a lot. I'm talking crazy. I'm having a good time. Um, I'm doing all of that, and we doing some one on ones. I'm winning my reps. And I'm feeling good about myself. I don't remember any conversation with Fisher and none of them guys and nothing like that. But yeah, I was out there competing, baby. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Do you remember the very first game?
Man, the very first game. God, dog it. What was the first game I played. I think we played like man, because I'd hurt my ankle my rookie year, so I think I missed a game or two.
Mhm.
But then I came back against Oakland. I want to say I came back against Oakland Raiders, and I made some plays in that game. I actually scored in that game. So I do remember that. Yeah.
And do you remember the QB at the time
Oh,
was
it's Kerry Collins.
Gary Collins,
I,
right?
I remember being in the huddle, and I think it was like some 90 something double goal. So I'm like, oh, that's me. So Kerry looks at me and was like, I'm coming to you right now. I'm like, sure. And so me and Chris Johnson is in the huddle, right? And I said, see, meet me there is on for the score. You feel me? And so he like, hey, we're gonna do this dance called Walk It Out. It was a Walk It Out dance, right? And I say, see, meet me in there, bro. We finna get active, Man, I got off the ball, one off my release, caught the ball, stopped on him, spun, went and scored. Man, CJ ran down in the end zone with me, ready to do it. I totally forgot. I went around the whole stadium giving fives and all that old good stuff, man.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
I totally forgot. I feel horrible, man, because he's like, bro, come on. Totally forgot.
He didn't want to walk it out with you, man.
He did. He did. He won't. He
Now,
won't. He won't let me forget about it.
how was that feeling scoring your first NFL touchdown? You still remember
Amazing.
the ball?
It was amazing. It
Mhm.
was amazing, man. This is something that you dream about.
Yeah.
This is something that you dream about. It's something that you dream about your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to go out there and do it, and knowing that you got your people, your family, your friends back at home watching the same thing, man, it's no better feeling.
Okay. All right, let's talk about some moments while being in the Tennessee Titans. Like you said, your first touchdown pass with Kerry Collins obviously is probably one of the biggest moments as a Tennessee Titan. Is there another favorite Tennessee Titans moment that might be related to the years playing with us?
Man, moment. I think being a part of watching my guy CJ2K go for them 2,000, not 2,000, 2,500 total yards. Being able to see him live in action and doing what he do, man, that was unreal right there. Because a lot of people know C was about 195 pounds. But C wasn't just fast. He was quick. He knew he was tough. He breaking tackles. C did a lot of good stuff, man. To be a part of that, man, was huge. It's huge.
That's another thing. I had Michael Ruse on, and that was one of his favorite moments as well, is him saying, helping like a team accomplishment. Because yes, CJ did do that, but it didn't happen without the linemen or the wide receiver
Absolutely. Run
blocking.
game, ridiculous. Our run game, the way they put that thing together, that run game, I don't know if it was just C, but that run game that they put together was crazy, man. It was, them boys did a good job.
Now, is there any certain, cornerback or DB that you liked going against?
I mean, you talking about practicing the game, whatever. What?
Let's do practice within the Titans organization, and
I
then we'll
mean,
do like
you gotta go with Cortland. Cortland crazy. Cortland was feisty. I was feisty. But I was cool. I'm
yeah,
cool until you're not cool. So if you do extra stuff, I'm gonna do extra stuff. So whatever
yeah.
you do to me, I'm gonna do to you, and I'm gonna
Uh,
try to do it worse. So Cortland and Cortland will get after you sometimes, man. And so I would have to say Cortland, but it was crazy, man.
gotcha.
Cortland had that little complex thing going for him for sure.
He really did. A lot of people talked about how he was just so feisty as a player and stuff, and just was always talking. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it's good if you're on.
Was cool. Core was my guy. We had an understanding like, cause we're gonna work, we're gonna work.
Yeah,
But just don't do the extra stuff. But if you gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah.
I get it, but I think we had an understanding.
Gotcha. Now, it was there. Um, growing up, what this kind of throws me off. Sorry about that. Which NFL wide receiver did you admire and why growing up? And who did you kind of like try to get kind of resemble the same type of, I guess, game?
So I appreciate a lot of wide receivers, but I would say I was a Steve Smith guy. I love Steve Smith. Steve was a dog. He was violent. He was all that above, all of the above. I love Terrell Owens. Despite what everybody may say,
Mhm.
Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson's. That was more my personality, all that stuff. But T.O. was tough, man. He catching that slant, going to the house. Stiff arming some people. Like he was. I mean, he was a dog, but I would have to put Steve Smith first because he was more my body type. He
Yep.
was
Okay.
5'11" and under. So To was 6'3". So I've always appreciated the smaller guys.
Gotcha. Now, in Tennessee, you play with a lot of QBs. And unfortunately, that's just the way the story goes.
Yeah.
Collins, Jake Locker, Vince Young, Matt Hasselbeck. Can you kind of? I tried this with Nate Washington, and could you kind of explain your connection with all the quarterbacks that you worked with? And how were they to
Man,
look at each other?
that's tough. I mean, because Kerry Collins was older. He was
Hmm.
towards the end of his career and stuff like that. So Kerry was a quarterback. I don't really have too many interactions with Kerry like that. Between pass and stuff. Vince, I have way more interactions with him. He was younger. Um, and Vince was a great guy. We hung out. I'm saying, outside football, stuff like that. Yeah, Vince, I spent the most time with Vince, man. So,
Okay.
yeah, Vince was a hard working guy. He had a good time. We had some good laughs, man. We did a lot of stuff, man. We had some talks and yeah, we did some stuff. Even I did some stuff with Chris Sims, right? Chris Sims was our QB as well. So I was going to Chris's house, because he had a nice house, a big old backyard where we could run some routes in the backyard. So I was with him.
Mhm.
Matt was a really good dude as well. Very energetic. Love Matt, man. Matt was a really good dude. Um, and I think that's all the QBs, right?
I think you didn't play with Jake Locker, or was Jake Locker towards the end?
No, I did play with old Jakey.
You did? Okay.
Jake, great guy too. I'm tripping. Yeah, great. I mean, great dude, man. He actually took me deep sea fishing with him in Seattle. I went to a camp of his or something like that,
Okay.
and we actually went deep sea fishing. It was freezing too. I don't think nobody prepared me for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, that's not my
I
type.
was out there in a t-shirt. I
Yeah,
was freezing.
I'm good. No, I'm good with that. Now,
No,
now you're saying that you played more time with Vince Young. Now, how was that connection with you and BY in practice? How'd you guys get that going where you guys kind of got that, that wide receiver connection?
it was just in practice, man. I
Practice?
mean, I went to day, man. So just being in practice, catching this ball, knowing how his ball's coming off his hand.
Mhm.
Vince had a really good ball. I know he threw sideways and stuff, but Vince had a really good catchable ball. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? You know, well, let me see. Vince had a good catchable ball. Matt had a good catchable ball. Um, Kerry Collins' ball would trick you
Okay.
because it looks like coming cool, but it's coming with some heat on it. And so you got to be prepared. And
Mhm.
then Chris Sims had a crazy ball. Oh, let me tell you a quick story about Chris Sims. I mean Chris Sims, right?
Go
So
ahead.
we in warm up, right? And I'm an asshole for this. We get ready for the game, and Chris is a lefty, so it come off his hand a little different, right? And so Chris is just throwing so much heat on his ball, man. You ripping my gloves, man. And so he throwing so much heat, and so he threw me a couple. He threw me one, I just knocked him down. Like, man, I don't want to play catch with you no more, right? But I tell you something, Chris didn't throw me a ball for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh,
Lesson that day to never ever play with them quarterbacks ever again. Chris was throwing the ball with so much heat, I knocked it down. I'm like, I don't want to play catch with you. He didn't throw me no balls in practice, nothing. I could be wide open. He gave me no action.
he didn't look at your way. He didn't look your way.
Please, I'm sorry, bro. Stop doing me like this, please. I'm sorry. And so I just had to share that quick little story. That's
That's funny.
hilarious.
That's
Be nice to you, man.
There you go. Be nice to your QBs. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so here's a couple questions we got for you, man. Um, again, if you got them, you got them. If you don't, it's fine. We can move on to the next. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen in the locker room or in the huddle? Now, I know you said it on Instagram. You had some KB stories, and we'll get to Kenny Britt in a little bit. But I mean, hey, go ahead, man.
Man, our locker room was lit, man. And like
Yeah.
there's some things I can't say. But I'm gonna stick with something safe, man. I'm gonna stick with something safe because we had a good time in the locker room. I'm telling you, like, this is what people miss the most. Like you miss football, you miss all that stuff, but you miss the locker room with the guys coming in, hearing the crazy stories that they got. And I got some crazy stories. So I missed that part, but our freestyle Fridays was amazing, in our locker room. And Darius Renard, he was doing something with my iPad, right? So I've always kept all the stuff. I got all of it on my iPad. So Darius was doing something on my iPad. He deleted all my stuff. I was so mad at him. You know what I mean? Because we had some really good Freestyle Fridays every Friday. It was live. It was live in that locker room. So I'm gonna stick with a safe story and say Freestyle Fridays was a good time because we got too many stories. I think it may be a little bit explicit.
Who came up with the Freestyle Friday?
I don't know. I mean, if I had to take a guess, it was Tony Brown because Tony Brown crazy as him too. So
Okay.
Tony Brown. If I had to take a guess, he came up with the Freestyle Fridays for sure.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it was kind of like, well, a couple people come up, do their thing, or how's that work? Explain Freestyle
Oh, it
Friday.
was like who I think it might have been whoever wanted to get up there.
Uh-huh.
Then they might have picked two people. So
Okay.
you guys, 3 or 4 people, you guys are up this week, and you was up, and you better be tight, else you're gonna get booed.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. What is the craziest nickname you've ever heard any of your teammates bear? And then I'm assuming what's your football nickname and who gave it to you? But I mean, Hawk is probably your nickname, right?
Yeah, Hawk is my nickname. The crazy nickname that I had from a coach that
Uh-huh.
I had was Chocolate. My coach at Cal used to call me Chocolate. Chocolate, like he yelling at me, Chocolate, come here. I'm like, no, you can't be calling me Chocolate like this, dog. But yeah, my coach Ron Gould, man, he's with the Rams right now. The running back coach, he used to call me, and he still call me Chocolate to this day. I say, man, you gotta get that one up.
Yeah, that was
Um, who
uh
has some nicknames? I mean, the Freak was tight. Javon Curse, the Freak was tight. That's a cool little man. I mean, like nickname.
yeah, definitely. Then you had CJ2K. Did
Okay.
did Kenny Britt have anything? No, right?
KB,
Okay. Now, out of the teammates from the years that you played with the Titans, who were you the closest to in the locker room?
Man, I spent the most time. So I was close to a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, I hung out with Chris a whole bunch. I hung out with Jason McCourty. That was my guy. So I had two sides of friends, right?
Mhm.
I was with the Johnsons and the Lindell Whites and the Quinton Ganthers and Vince and them. But then I was over here with the other side with like Chris Hope and Vincent, Jason. Them was my church guys. We was going to church. We gonna dress nice. My crew over here, we kind of thugging a little bit. but no, I was cool with everybody though. Like I was really like well rounded with people. I hung out with all of them, man.
Yeah, you seem like a well-versed individual. There's certain people that kind of just gravitate, but you seem like you can gravitate towards everyone and have a good time. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about route running, okay? Describe your approach to running a certain route, like a post pattern, and how you try to create separation from a defender in your aspect.
So I mean, everything with running routes has been on that same stem, right?
Okay.
You got to make everything look the same. My number one thing I tell guys is you got to run, man. You got to run. You got to get that DB to open up his hips. You got to get him out that pedal, and all our routes and stuff. And so if you come up jogging and playing, that DB has no reason to open up, right? And so what I teach is running off the ball, get on his toes, give him a stick, run again. So I mean I would stick with that, man. You gotta run that DB down. I gotta say you gotta run him down. Especially if you're talking about a post route. I don't know if you're talking about any other route, but if you're talking about a post route, run him down, stick him, go high, let that QB throw the ball out there for you.
Gotcha. Perfect. Hand-eye coordination. Explain your process for tracking the ball in flight and making a difficult catch in tight coverage.
Man, hand-eye coordination is really
Right.
important. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would say, and I hate to say this, I won't say that I was blessed with it, but I was blessed with like ball skills and stuff like that. I just, you do drills and stuff, and
Mhm.
you throw the ball over your head, you catch it. You do a whole bunch of drills, right, to kind of do that. But I feel like I did a lot of playing football when I was younger, to how like because it's hard to teach somebody how to dive for a ball. Like it's tough sometimes. Yes, you can set up a cone and put a pad out there and throw it out there and you do it, but it's just some things that you don't have naturally.
Yeah,
And I would like to say that I had some things natural, like I know how to adjust to the ball, find the ball, track the ball. And I
got
don't know if it was from playing outside so much, because even today, as a coach today, we're trying to figure out different drills to simulate what you're going to get in the game. And so when I was coming up, we didn't have all that. You just went outside and you played three flies up.
yeah, that's
You know,
it.
you and you work on your timing, on your jumps, and playing basketball and all. I'm assuming that all that stuff correlates, but I would say that you have to, you know, make up drills and put them in that situation to be
Gotcha,
able to do.
gotcha. Now we're going to talk a little bit about pressure situations. How do you mentally prepare for crucial plays in high pressure situations, like a game winning drive? And perfect example, Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Mhm.
Vince Young, the 99-yard drive. Again, I think you
Yeah,
had from that drive, I think you had two or three catches, one of them
yeah,
completing 4th and 4.
yeah.
So if you remember, kind of breaking down that process, the mentality of going down and like I said, converting on fourth down multiple times, and then finally achieving and then scoring the game. So if you guys can talk to me about that, man.
For me, once you're in the game, I think you only have nerves that first possibly series, that first catch or two. Then it's just the game, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that fourth that drive was awesome, by the way. I'm glad I was part of that too. But like even like the situation, you got to know the situations in the game, like and you know it, and you know that you got to make this play. It's not. It was never a thought in my mind that if this ball comes to me, I'm gonna make this play and I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to make this play.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be the guy that lost the game. I can't handle that on my chest. So for me, it was never just, I was never like too nervous. I was never too high. I was never too low. You just make the play, man. I don't know how to explain it, man. You know the situation, 4th and 4. Make the play and
Yeah.
do whatever you got to make the play, and that's it.
And
Mhm.
throughout that, once you guys got where they got it down to the 1 yard line, it was just, hey, we got to score. We got to keep this drive going. What were the guys? Was anyone saying anything in the huddle? Was it just constant? Like you guys kind of knew certain
Because
plays?
you're in 2 minutes. So you don't
Mhm.
got time to talk like that.
Yeah,
Like you can say, Vince may say something here and there, but you tired, you ever trying to hear the play
yeah,
and line up. You, you got your own battles you're dealing with, right? And so I don't remember just a whole conversation that
uh-huh.
happened in there, because I remember the play. It was backline digs, and I think we had like spot routes, and I think it was some snag routes to pull the next defender out so he can throw it in the window, or you can get it. I thought I was gonna get that touchdown. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Vince was gonna throw me that, but he decided to go.
Mhm.
He decided to go and get it because I felt like I was right there. I was open right in your face, and you threw
Uh-huh.
it to me, and I feel some kind of way about that. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But yeah, no, yeah, I don't think it's. You just got to make the play at the end of the day, man. We down at the one. We didn't drove 99 yards, man. We might as well finish it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then when that play happened, and Kenny, Vince Young hits Kenny in the end zone, everyone's going
Yeah,
crazy. I saw you were in the pile. You jumped on Kenny. How
yeah.
crazy was that place? How loud was that place?
Oh, it was loud. It was loud. Like we got some great fans in Tennessee, dude. Like when you doing well, it is a great atmosphere. It's a great place to be. And just being able to give them that experience of a 99-yard drive to go for the W, like that's huge, man. That's some history type stuff. That's something that we're gonna be able to talk about forever. When I got kids now, so I'm able to tell my kids about that drive. So it was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, one in the history books is, like I said, 99 Drive is excellent.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about film study and
hmm
how do you analyze game film to identify weaknesses in your own performance and opportunities against the opposing defense? So if you could break that down for me, man.
I mean, so we always have film study with our team, of course, all that stuff, and they give you all the breakdown and notes. So we get breakdowns from coaches from what they see, and so
Mhm.
you go take those notes and you go home and you try to look and see if it's lining up. So you kind of know a guy's going to play you. And the biggest thing for receivers, I feel like, is coverages. You got to know coverages, dude. Like, it's not so much about the individual dude all the time.
Okay.
Don't do what they're gonna do, but if you know coverages, especially teams on the zone, you got to run in there and get in that zone, sit in that zone.
hmm
You gotta do all that type of stuff. So, watching film every day. Watching film every day, watching the DBs you finna go against. But the biggest thing for me is the coverage, knowing what coverage they in because routes change. Routes change on the go. If they go from two safety high to one safety high, the route changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Grandma,
It's all right, Grandma can talk, man. That's right. That's cool. Tell me what's up.
yeah,
Uh, team chemistry. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do you contribute
yeah.
to building a strong rapport with your QB? I know you said earlier, you said practice and other offensive players on the field. So maybe let's kind of shy away from the QB at this point and talk about maybe the offensive players, like Kenny Britt, Nate Washington. How do you guys build up on
So we was all young, man. We was young. We actually hung out. Like we actually had real relationships. It wasn't no fake relationships and stuff like
okay.
that. We was all actually really, really good friends. Like that's one thing I always tell people, even to this day. Like in Tennessee, we had such a good time. Like I can't not speak enough about it. Like we had such a good time. It was a lot of young guys, hungry, vibrant. That was getting along. Like yeah, we had a little fusses and fights here and there, but it was always love. So I think just spending time, man, spending time, cracking jokes. We always went out to eat and stuff like that. Even I think I was around a lockout year. And every morning we got up, we went and trained at one of the high schools out there. Left there, went and got some shakes, cracked 1,000 more jokes, then left from there to go lift weights. And then from after weights, we would go get lunch. And, so we spent a lot of time, man. And like I told you before, those are the things that you miss the most is being on the same schedule
Yeah.
as other men. Because, we was on the same schedule. This is what we're doing. This our job is to work out, to train, to get better, to do this. And we're doing it with a group of guys.
Mhm.
That's the stuff you miss the most.
So when you guys have that, when they have the alumni weekend and stuff, you usually come down, right? That's what
Yes.
the,
Never miss.
when the group of guys they turn up again, just one more time, right?
Yes. I mean, and it's always good to see everybody. It's always
Yeah.
so good to see all the guys to hear what they're doing that's new. Just to catch up for them couple of days and just, I mean, I love it. I love people, man. I love my guys. I
Mhm.
love telling old stories. I love making some new stories. I love cracking jokes. I
Mhm.
love it all. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a beautiful thing. We didn't do it this year though. I need to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I think you're right because I try to
Yeah,
go. I don't think so. That's
yeah.
Titans gonna step up, man.
Come on, man. This thing up.
Yeah,
Or
let's
even,
do
you're out.
it. Let's talk little bit of life after football.
hmm
Um, Talk to me about you became a firefighter, right?
No. I was thinking about doing it, and I think I got lazy, and I got into coaching. So,
Okay. Well,
and
that's okay. It's all right with not becoming a firefighter. It's all right, man. But let's talk about coaching then, because I know you're a coach, but I thought you
yeah.
did firefighting first, and then
hmm
okay, go
No,
ahead.
no. I didn't follow through with it. So,
Okay.
I got into coaching, and I'm coaching back at my high school.
Edison High School, right?
Yeah, Edison High School, trying to give back to those boys up there, because I tell them all the time, I'm you guys just 20 some years later. You know what I mean? If you follow the blueprint, you guys can do the same thing, if not do better. So coaching high school football, I've been coaching for like the last 8 years. I also own two facilities, two gyms to where we train athletes and stuff like that. We have an adult side as well. Me and my buddy Tim Brown, we collabed on this thing, and we got some good stuff going. With the high school boys, a lot of guys are going off to college, which is our main goal. On why we was doing what we was doing. So we got the gyms, man. We got coaching going on. I got two kids of my own now.
Nice.
Man, life is just a little bit different now, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Well, that's awesome that you could also give back. And then now, how old are your kids?
So I have a daughter that's 3, and I have a son that's 1.
Okay. Oh, so you just started, man. Okay, that's beautiful though. I have a 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're both boys, and it's nice
Amazing.
uh, to
Amazing.
it's amazing, and it's hard sometimes too, especially with these football players that have families that are playing, they're active. It's football takes a lot of time away
Right.
from the family, and it's good that you can actually, you're done with football technically for the most part, right? And then
Yeah.
you still be active in their lives. So, man, and then you're getting giving back to the community too. So, kudos to you, man.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And before I let you go, man, what was it? How was it playing for the Tennessee Titans? In your opinion, your years with us, what did you think?
Like I tell people all the time, as far as on the field wise,
Mhm.
I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, but I did enough, right? I did some stuff. I was able to get another contract, so you did enough, right? But I would always say that I had a great time. Like I became a man out there for sure. Just with life. I love Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I call it my second home. I love Nashville. I love the people, love the vibe. Especially back when we was there, it wasn't all as vibrant as it is now. Vegas now, right?
Yeah.
But it was more like family to me. Because I I uh, I developed more family when I got out there. I met some good people out there. I had my little brother staying with me at that time because he was acting a fool at home. He's sitting right here. Um, and so I had him out there. So I had other people that was, helping me with that. Tina Tuggle, she was working, she worked with the Titans now. So she put me in contact with some different people here and there. So I have a lot of family out there, man, that I developed while I was out there. So Nashville is amazing. Just know that. Nashville gave me an opportunity. Nashville, Tennessee Titans, they drafted me. So I'm gonna forever be grateful and thankful for that. You know what I mean? For sure.
That is something that's again it's beautiful, and we appreciate you. I think fans wise, regardless if you feel like you didn't contribute enough, in our eyes, you did more than enough, man. Just laying in your blood, sweat, and tears out there, and it was a joy to watch you play and perform at a high level. And like I said, anyone who wears the two-tone jersey is Titans forever, man. You are in everyone's eyes, Tennessee Titans till you die, man. So
I appreciate you, brother.
we want
Yes,
to
sir.
appreciate it. Now, before I let you go, is there any Kenny Britt story you want to say before? Because I know you were. He said, "No, I just messing with you."
I'm gonna give Kenny a pass, man, because Kenny was crazy. I love him to death, but he was crazy, But Kenny energy was always high, man. And that's why I always loved him, man. Kenny gonna be the loudest in the room for
Mhm,
sure, you know. And I gotta give him some love too. I would have to say this, and I don't care what nobody say.
mhm.
Kenny Britt was the best dressed. I don't care what nobody say. Kenny always was fresh.
Oh,
He had his New York thing going on. I used to be watching him. I mean, I'm sure I told him, but Kenny used to be the freshest. I'm like, man, whoever dressing you or where you shopping at, I need to go with you.
okay. So
You
Kenny
know,
Britt was the best dressed.
I don't care what nobody say. I said it, and I don't care what nobody say. Kenny was dressed the best. He was fresh.
Okay, well, we're gonna leave it right off like that. That's a good way. That's a good point of ending the conversation and ending this. But like I said, I do appreciate you having come on and talk and share your experience, man. I hope you had a good time, man, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, tighten up.
I appreciate you having me, baby.